it's great to see you. Thanks for joining me. What is foremost, or what things are foremost on people's minds at this show so far?
I think from a vendor technology perspective here on the show floor, there's clearly lots of interest in and lots of companies representing the cybersecurity ecosystem. So I'm sure from a adoption of zero trust and all of the threat intelligence feed companies that are here, I think cyber defense is still top of mind as it should be. There's a lot of innovation and represented by the companies that are doing AI and machine learning. I think the adoption is a little further behind, but there's a lot of companies that are willing and able to be partners with this community. And then we're seeing a big growth and a big spike in companies offering OSINT capabilities, either data itself or collection and dissemination techniques that this community leverages to help paint a picture of what's going on in the world.
You mentioned innovation around AI and machine learning. How's that manifesting itself in the government space in your view?
I think the use cases are still early stage. I think the use cases are still being developed and defined in the various customers, government customer spaces. So I would say adoption is slower than we might hope. I think they're getting there. I think some of the use cases, especially around Gen AI and predictive analysis, are developing. I think they're getting adopted by some of the innovative cells in government. But again, I think we're early stage of where AI where we're going to be deploying AI capability in the years to come.
What do you think will get that concept to the next level?
I think repeatability in the use case, repeatability across customer domains in the use cases is going to get there. I also think the government is a little behind the curve on upgrading their infrastructure, their accelerated compute infrastructure to run these applications. So I think those investments are still being made to foundationally support all the compute infrastructure that is required to run these applications, really, and drive the use cases. So I think there's a little bit of foundational infrastructure investment that needs to take place first before some of these applications can be rolled out at scale.
Is that infrastructure that the agencies that you're talking about will have to buy for themselves, or is that infrastructure that they can get as a service to be able to get into the game faster?
There's probably a combination of the two. It probably is going to be differentiated by workload. So there are options for the government to deploy that compute infrastructure in their own data center. There's options to deploy it from, say, one of the big cloud service providers. There's even in between managed service provider, options out there for them. There's a variety of options. It's about picking the right one to run the right workloads and the right application and to power the right application, and designing a system that way, and getting obviously the budget, the numbers right as far as the budget goes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned zero trust. A lot of discussion here, as you said, about zero trust. The conversations that I'm having with government people, both online and offline, are talking about hitting deadlines. Is it your sense that the deadlines, when they come, will actually result in better outcomes for security, or will it just be, well, we hit a deadline and so we can say we hit the deadline?
That's a good question. I think that it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think there will be a little bit of box checking as far as agencies just racing to check the box as opposed to create demonstrative results. But any progress in the right direction is progress when it comes to implementing zero trust architecture. I don't think there's any question that zero trust is the architecture, the de facto architecture that every organization should adopt as far as their cyber defense methodology. It's a matter of getting there. So I would say a little of both to both outcomes to answer your question.
It's great to have you on the show, Mike. Thanks for joining me again.